the things that we did, went ahead and talked about time management. Before we get started, I have a video that I'm going to play from this man. His name is Brian Tracy. Now, I have been listening to him for a very long time. On my job, it is a requirement that we do leadership continuing educational study. And one of the things that they asked us to do, we have to have like 6 hours of leadership training. And that's one thing I appreciate my job for. And so Brian Tracy is one of the facilitator that we have, very wonderful teacher and a leader. So I do listen to him a lot. He have different type of leadership training on different things, skills and stuff. So I'm going to play one of his video on the importance of time management, and then I'll go ahead and get started. So I'm going to hopefully this thing work one shot if I share my screen. Let me see how I can include my audio. All right, now I had to figure out where my stuff is. Then I had to stop it and then reshare. Okay. All right.
Why your life depends on time management.
Can you guys hear it? Did you guys hear it when I hit play?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we're just going to listen.
Lack of clarity is the #1 time waster. Always be asking, what am I trying to do? How am I trying to do it? Brian Tracy. Perhaps the greatest single problem that people have today is time poverty. Working people have too much to do and too little time for their personal lives. Most people feel overwhelmed with responsibilities and activities, and the harder they work, the further behind they feel. Instead of clearly deciding what you want to do, you continually react to what is happening around you. Pretty soon, you lose all sense of control. Time is your most precious resource. It is the most valuable thing you have. It is perishable, it is irreplaceable, and it cannot be saved. It can only be reallocated from activities of lower value to activities of higher value. All work requires time. The very act of taking a moment to think about your time before you spend it will begin to improve your personal time management and increase your productivity immediately. Many people think that time management is only a business tool, like a calculator or a cell phone, or that it's something that you use to increase productivity and eventually be paid more money. However, time management is not a peripheral activity or skill. It is the core skill on which everything else in life depends. In your work or business life, there are so many demands on your time from other people that very little of your time is yours to use as you choose. However, at home, you can exert a tremendous amount of control over how you use your time and increase productivity throughout the day in your personal life. Personal time management begins with you. It begins with your thinking through what is really important to you in life. You need to set goals in 3 major areas of your life. First, you need family and personal goals. These are the reasons why you get up in the morning, why you work hard and upgrade your skills, why you worry about money and sometimes feel frustrated by the demands on your time. What are your family and personal goals, both tangible and intangible? A tangible family goal could be a bigger house, a better car, a larger television set, a vacation, or anything else that costs money. An intangible goal would be to build a higher quality relationship with your spouse and children, to spend more time with your family going for walks or reading books. Achieving these family and personal goals are the real essence of time management and its major purpose. The second area of goals are your business and career goals. These are the how goals, the means by which you achieve your personal why goals. How can you achieve the level of income that will enable you to fulfill your family goals? How can you develop the skills and abilities to stay ahead of the curve in your career? Business and career goals are absolutely essential, especially when balanced with family and personal goals. The third type of goals are your personal development goals. Your outer life will be a reflection of your inner life. If you wish to achieve worthwhile things in your personal and career life, you must become a worthwhile person in your own self-development. You must build yourself if you want to build your life. Perhaps the greatest secret of success is that you can become anything you really want to become to achieve any goal that you really want to achieve. But in order to do that, you must go to work on yourself and never stop. A principle of time management says that hard time pushes out soft time. This means that hard time, such as working, will push out soft time, such as the time you spend with your family. If you don't get your work done at the office because you don't use your time well, you almost invariably have to rob that time from your family. As a result, because your family is important to you, you find yourself in a values conflict. There are 3 key questions that you can ask yourself continually to keep your personal life in balance. The first question is, what is really important to me? Whenever you find yourself with too much to do and too little time, stop and ask yourself, what is it that's really important to me to do in this situation? Then make sure that what you're doing is the answer to that question. The second question is, what are my highest value activities? In your personal life, this means, what are the things that I do that give me the greatest pleasure or satisfaction? Of all the things that I could be doing at one time, what are the things I could do to add the greatest value to my life? And the final question for you to ask over and over again is, what is the most valuable use of my time right now? Since you can only do one thing at a time, you must constantly organize your life so that you are doing one thing, the most important thing, at every moment. Personal time management enables that you choose what to do first, what to do second, and what not to do at all. It enables you to organize every aspect of your life so that you can get the greatest joy, happiness, and satisfaction out of everything you do. Now, we'd love to hear from you. So our question today is, what are your highest value activities? Leave a comment below and we'll be sure to follow up with you. Thanks for watching. And
Right. So that was a little clip. So if you guys like that video, I will post it on the LKB. But yes, Brian Tracy, he's great. He got a lot of stuff. As I encourage all leaders on here to watch his video. All right, so go ahead and get started. Before I go ahead and share my screen again, I'm gonna share my screen again. But I'm going to read, if we can get our Bible and look at the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 3, and I'm going to be reading from verses 1, and I'll go down, and I'll go ahead and share my screen. We get started. So hopefully that video, you guys are able to kind of take a little bit of notes and stuff on that, because it have a lot in it. All right, so Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verses 1. Is saying, to everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven. A time for every purpose under heaven. I'll say that again. A time for every purpose under heaven. There's a time to be born. There will be a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up what is planted. There'll be a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn, a time to dance, a time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones, a time to embrace, a time to refrain from embracing, a time to gain, and a time to lose, a time to keep, and a time to throw away, a time to tear, and a time to sow, a time to keep silent, and a time to speak, a time to love, and a time to hate, a time of war, and a time of peace. What profit has the worker from that in which he labors? I have seen the God-given facts with which the Son of Man are to be occupied. He has made everything beautiful in its time. Also, he has put eternity in their hearts, except that no one can find out the works that God does from beginning to end. If you read Ecclesiastes chapter 3, the Bible tells it everything has to do with time. There is time. So if we miss the time of doing something and we start doing something else, we're going to find ourselves dealing with things in the wrong season. So it is very important that we understand timing. You know, someone can go for an appointment, but you can miss your appointment if you go late. I mean, it will be the same location. You're going to meet the exact same people, but you won't be able to accomplish why you went there because you went late. So time
Yes.
is very important and very valuable. Time is important. Time is of essence. The first week, the first Saturday of this month, we talk about time will not pause for anyone. Time is not, we can speak in tongue all we want. It's not going to pause for you and I. It's just going to continue going. You have to make time for yourself. So we
Yes.
will have a little bit of activity here. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again. Let's see what I want to share here. Okay, hopefully I shared the right one. Okay, so we have a little, let me put my chat here so I can see like what this stuff is doing too much. All right, so we have a little stuff here. So if you guys say something, I can see your chat just in case if you put something in the chat. Okay, so time management and you. So time management and you. You are always involved with your time, whether you are conscious or unconscious of it. Some people be saying, well, you wasted my time. Technically, no, you wasted your time. It wasn't the person, it was you. Because if you understood how important and valuable your time is, you won't waste your time with people that you should not be wasting time with, and you won't waste your time on things that you should not be wasting time on. So I have two questions for Icebreaker, and then we'll go ahead and continue. All right. So let's do question 1 first. Who wants to go first? If you want to type your answer in the chat, you can. If you want to come off mute and give your answer, you can do so as well. But we just want to just kind of do it one at a time and then we move forward. So if you can go back in time, what will you change and why? If you can go back in time, what will you
I'll go
want to do?
first.
Okay, go ahead.
If I can go back in time, I think I will. I mean, if I was like in the in spirits and I could change people stuff, what do you mean, Auntie?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm asking you a question. I'm saying, if I could change anything, like anything.
Anything,
Okay,
anything
okay.
you want. It's your time.
Oh, I think I will go find a new family, a family that's they're loving and there's no abuse. Everything is just peaceful. I will change that. I will have my mom find a new man and new kids.
Okay. All right. Thanks for sharing. All right. Who else? Anyone else? If you have the
Me.
opportunity to go back in time, okay, go ahead.
So, hi everybody. If I will go
Hi,
back
Cecile.
in time to change, I will change the fact that I will learn how to pray for stuff more. Instead of leaning on my own understanding, I will learn how to lean on God. I will change that because back then I just do my own thing on my own time and it didn't even take me anywhere. But now I have realized that if you pray for stuff and seek God first, things starts to go smooth. So if I will go back in time and change that, I will learn how to pray for stuff more and wait on God. And lean on God more.
Thanks. Thank you for sharing. All right. Anyone else before we move to the second question?
Me. As for me, I actually will not change anything.
because in everything in life, it's a lesson learned. So even though things happen during my past and stuff, that's something I cannot change. And even if it happen again, it's really something I cannot change. But in all things, I give thanks to God for the fact that I am able to still sit down here and be the person that I am. So I definitely won't change anything.
Okay. Thanks for sharing. All right. Last person that would like to share question number 1 before we go to question number 2.
Hello. If I would have go back in time, what would have changed? I think I would have, changed the way I did things, manage things well and better. Because when you do manage things well, you see the results. When you do, manage your time well, you see it. If I could go back and change that, what I would be really working on based on what I know about myself right now, the things that I could have done in the past if I have had a really, really focused mind and manage well and do things well. You know.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. So go ahead and go to question number 2. If you had enough time, what would you accomplish? Who wants to go?
If I had enough time, I will accomplish God's calling upon my life.
Okay. All right. Thanks for sharing. All right. Anyone else who would like to share on number 2?
I'll go.
But
Okay.
Go on, Cole. Sorry.
if I had enough time, you know, I would I would volunteer some of them to help, and teach those that need help, that volunteer some of my time.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Anyone else?
I'll go. If I had
Okay.
enough time, I would listen more. If instead of like complaining, I'll listen more. If I had enough time.
Okay. All right. Thanks for sharing. All right. Anyone want to share lastly before we move forward? Okay. We'll go ahead and move forward. Let me just make sure I didn't double click. Okay. So time management, highly productive people handle time management. I mean, it's just the truth. If you find someone who is very productive, it's because they somehow learn how to manage their time.
Hmm.
That's why. It's not because they are super smart or it's just because they learn how to manage their time. So highly productive people manage their time. If you want to be very productive in your goals, in your dreams, you have to learn how to manage your time. And I love this quote from Charles Buxton, where he says, you will never find time for anything. And that is just so true. You will never find time for anything. If you
Hmm.
want time, you must. It's not you should, it's a must. You must make time for
Hmm.
what you want. You have to be able to make time for what you want to achieve. Most of the time, you're like, "Ugh, I wish I had time to go to this place."
Hmm.
You do have time. You just need to make up
Yes.
your mind to go. And
Hmm.
if there is something else standing in the way, then you just need to schedule yourself and making a way where you put that stuff on your schedule to be able to do it. Some people are like, well, I wish I could, attend this program or go to this class. It's just because we haven't put that into our time, so we haven't made time for it. But it's very important, especially with this generation that we are on right now. It's a very fast-paced generation. I mean, now these days, things just happen bam. Like people just want things to
Hmm.
happen. Now we have AI. That's a paper that would take you about maybe 5 hours to write, you can cut it down in like 2.5 hours by using technology. Right. So now we are on a fast-paced world. And so we have to come into the place of understanding how to manage our time. And this is the reason why I love Brian Tracy video, because he talks about, you know, what you value. Again, the first time I talk about time management, I talk about your value. You know, if you don't understand your value, you're going to give
Mm-hmm.
your attention to everything else around
Mm.
you. Okay, you have to understand your value. Time is timeliness. It is very important. It have to be tangible. If it's not tangible, we're not going to be involved in it. Art is important. If it's not important, then you have no need of paying attention to it. We just need to be able to pay attention to what is very important to us. All right. So let's talk about some other things that kind of distract us from our goals. You know, we all set goals. Lord Jesus, if you're setting some goals, so we set weekly goals. There are people who set daily goals, and then you set your monthly goal and then your yearly goal. Okay, Brian Tracy, he did talk about 3 goals you should set: family and your personal goals, and then you also have your career. So you have these kind of going in your financial whatever thing you want to plan, but we all can create our own goal. So you don't have to say, oh, is this just 3 steps to it? No, whatever your goal is, what is important to you, what you want to
Amen.
achieve. So you have to make
Yes.
time for that. Now we have to also factor in what can cause distraction. Some of us is
Mm-hmm.
our cell phone, right? My phone is always on silent because of my work. So when I get off work, I don't take it off silent. So if you call me most of the time, you won't get me. It goes directly to voicemail. If you text me, I get on break, I'll text you back, but I won't be calling you because of the nature of my work. Right. So I had to keep my phone on silent. There are certain company that tells you don't take your cell phone in the building, or if you do, turn it
Yes.
off. There's a
Mm-hmm.
reason. It's not that they are trying to be mean or they don't care or
Mm-hmm.
they're being inconsiderate. No, because it's going to be a distraction. Something's going to
Yes.
happen. It's going to, I mean, when you're trying to take care of something important, that's when every hell decide to break loose. And then your phone start blowing off the hook and things start happening. So they'll tell you, please turn your cell phone off. If you
Mm-hmm.
know, there are some churches at the door, they have the sign of like, turn your electronic device off or place it
Yes.
on silent. You know, the reason is because of distraction. So you don't
Mm-hmm.
distract, like the pastor is preaching, and then your phone, and then sometimes it's the most awkward ringtone that just start playing out like, oh Lord,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so turn it off. So friends can be a distraction. I'm sorry, your best friend can be a distraction to your goals. And you have to understand that. So you have to be able to have what you call boundary. To be able to manage your time well. It's okay to tell your best friend, I'm sorry, but I can't hang out with you today. You're not committing a crime. You are not being mean. You are just being real. I got something to work on. But what do we do is that most of us are like, do you want to go to a club? Do you want to go drink? Do you want to go here? Yes. And then we go ahead. It's not part of your schedule. So your friends can also be a distraction to your goals. It sounds bad, but that's the reality. Your friends can be roommates. I'm not sure if you guys ever have roommates where you guys live together. I mean, you are studying and they are just there talking, talking, talking. They just having conversation that has nothing to do with what you are studying. And so that become a distraction. And the moment you find out that you put aside your study and what you guys are doing, you are having your own conversation. So that's something we have to be very mindful of. Your neighbors can be a distraction to you as well.
Mm.
Very much distraction. With distraction, you're trying to do something. I'm not sure if you ever told someone something you are trying to do, and then they try to convince you the reason why you shouldn't do it. That can serve as a distraction. So sometimes we don't tell people what we are doing. We just do it. If you feel silently. Okay. Then telling people and then you feel publicly. So feel silently first and let go ahead and do it on our own before telling people. Okay, fitness and health can also be a distraction. If you're not healthy, if you're not fit, it can be a distraction to your goal. If you're sick, I mean, how are you gonna, fulfill that goal of yours? How are you going to kind of work on it? Okay, so we also have here your hobbies. So things that you like. If partying is one of your hobbies, then we need to limit it. We need to break it down to take, remove some that is not too important and pay attention to what is important. Television and entertainment. Yes, social media. Social, some of us we can't live without social media. I mean, some people can be sleeping on social media. Even social media knows your name. You are just there. You spend hours and hours on social media surfing through the internet looking for what you yourself don't even know what you're looking for. 5 hours have passed and your gold is still there waiting for you the last time you left it. Children, unfortunately, yes, our children, we love our children to death, but your children can also be a distraction to your goal. You're working on something, bam, the children that show up. So we need to learn how to put those boundaries, have a blackout time, and like this time, I'm going to focus on this 1 hour, and after that, nobody. Tell your children, don't come to my door, don't hit the door,
Mhm.
don't knock the door, don't break anything, don't hit anybody, like don't do nothing. Watch TV. I'm going to be out from this time to this time. When I'm done, you can show up. Your children, I promise you, if you start to tell your children, like give them straight order like that, they will
Mhm.
also understand time management. Because when my kids are very good at don't tell my kids you're gonna do something. Don't tell them because they're gonna make sure you will do it. They'll pay attention to the time and the second, and they will remind you, but you said at 5 o'clock, we're supposed to go this place. And why we're not going. So your kids can be able to listen to that. So tell them, I won't be available from this time to this time. So don't touch anything. If someone knocked the door, don't answer the door. Don't say nothing. Just stay there. They're gonna listen. And you work on your goal. So seeing people give excuse for with, oh, my child is this, my child is not doing this, so I can't do this because I have a child. I can't go to school because I have a child. I can't work. Well, figure out when the child is asleep and work on your goal. Figure out when the
Amen.
child is distracted and work on your goal. Don't use that as an excuse. Many of us will use that as an excuse that, oh, you have children, so you can't do what you desire to do. No, that's an excuse. You have to create a time slot where you can just pull your child aside and just work on your goal. And then you have other reason where people are going to be distracted from pursuing that goal. All right, so we do have here um, time management. Okay, so time management will help you. What exactly would time management help you with? So here are some things that is going to definitely help you guys with here. So every one of us, I will benefit from this. You are going to benefit from this. So increase your productivity. It's one thing. One thing that being a supervisor, that one of the report that I kind of pay attention to is the productivity report for my CSR. Now, this productivity report, it tells me, excuse me, how many calls that my CSR are taking and how many calls they are making within the month. If a person makes 100 calls and take maybe 30 calls in the whole month, then we have an issue because we want what you've been doing. Okay, so there is a report, a data that gives me a clear picture as to how productive my CSR have been. So the same, you can use time management to kind of give you a clear picture of your productivity during the day, during the week, during the month, during the year. I promise you, some of us, if we just say that you figure out you wasted many years, we all wasted most years. And those are years we can get back. But the good news is that we can start now. It's never too late. So your time management will help you increase your productivity. It will reduce your stress. How many of us ever worked under? I hate working under stress, and I hate for people to put me under stress. So I like to work ahead. I don't like to be worked under stress. I will get the job done, but you're gonna piss me off and you're gonna say something. I'm gonna tell you something too. So I don't like no one putting me under stress. So I like to do things, when there are enough time. So if you
Mhm.
know how to manage your time well, it will reduce your stress. You won't be unnecessarily stressed out. Like, oh my God,
Amen.
it's about the end of the month. I didn't do this. I
Mhm.
didn't do that. I need to submit this report. I need to do that one. Why are we stressing? It's because you didn't manage your time well throughout the month. But if we manage our time well, then we will reduce that stress off of us. It improves your self-esteem as well. People who manage that time, they know. They are not afraid to say no. They're not afraid to tell you, I'm sorry, I can't make it. It's my time, it's not your time. You are free to do whatever you want to do with your time, but you cannot put me on any obligation to use my time the way you want me to use it. The devil sure is a lie. So it improves your self-esteem. You got to tell people, you got to fit people into your time. You see, your job
Amen.
fits you into their schedule. Just
Mm-hmm.
because you choose that schedule doesn't necessarily mean you choose it. No, they fit you into that schedule. That was what
Mm-hmm.
they wanted. And so you apply for the job and they give you that schedule. And so now you are obligated to go ahead and meet that schedule that you selected. Time management will also help you achieve a sense of balance. We juggle with too many things, like the multitasker. We're going to talk about that later. You want to handle a lot of stuff at the same time. Sometimes it's good to handle things at the same time, but then sometimes we have to drop one to finish the other. So then you need to
Mm-hmm.
learn how to work. So time management will help you achieve a sense of balance. Okay, it will also establish an important. This is very important. Your time is important. I like money. I don't care what people say. I like money. We need money. My time is very valuable. It's money to me. So don't waste my time unless you have a reason to waste it. It better be a good reason. Time is very important. The reason being is that when it's gone, when a minute is gone, it can come back. That's one thing you have to
Mm-hmm.
realize. When you say I have 5 minutes to take care of something, if you left 1 minute out, you got 4 minutes. You ain't gonna say, oh, I was talking to this person, so I need to continue. No, you got 4 minutes left. And so what most of us tend to do is that when you give yourself time and you say, I have 1 hour to do this, you use 15 minutes to actually have a conversation. And now instead of using the balance, you want to use one. No, it doesn't work like that. That's not time management. So you want to make sure it's important. What is important to you? Not your friends, not your pastor. What is important to you? What is important for your family? That's what you want to do. Okay. And time management will also help develop career skills. If you pay attention, some of us probably by now you would have gone far place how we put attention into careers and stuff. But if we just tend to like, oh, well, I wish. And then we look 5 years ago, my goodness, 5 years ago, I should have been in this position or holding this degree, but what we didn't make time for it. It was just something from the mouth. Okay, so these are all the things that time management can actually help you and I with if we actually pay attention to managing our time wisely. And I like this. I'm gonna go back to that slide real quick. Right here. So I told you guys, time is investment. That's me. That's my, these are things that I personally understand by myself. So time is investment, and investment is profitability. If it's not
Amen.
bringing profit, forget it. If that person I'm talking to is not the relationship between me and that person is not going to be profitable, forget it. That conversation is the last you're going to hear from you and I. That's it. Because time is investment. You need to have profit. I mean, who wants to invest in something and don't benefit from it? Your time is profitable. So treat it very important. Some of us we take our time so casually. Don't take your time casually. I like the rich people. Rich people don't give that time out like that. Like, oh, you got 5 minutes. And you will find people are dying to talk to that person for just 5 minutes. Some people like, give me 1 minute of your time. Why is that? It's because that person invested in themselves. And so that's the reason why someone is dying for just 1 minute of their time, because that 1 minute is even precious to that person. So manage your time well, and then you will get to the destination that you want to see. All right. So we're going before we go. Well, you guys, let's do this and you guys can ask questions because I don't have too many slides. But I want to do a time management personal quiz. So there's 5 questions on here. So go ahead and take about 5 minutes for this. So we want to find like our time management personality. So you have question number 1. So you just write your letter for whatever answer you choose. So you put number 1 and then the letter, number 2, number 3, and then I'll go to the next slide. Once everyone is kind of done, if you can probably like put in the chat like done, and then I move over to the next one, which have question 4 and 5. So after that, then we'll talk about you put in a chat which is the highest letter that you got, then we'll be able to talk about what's your personality style. And then we'll go from there. All right. So I'll give like about 5 minutes for us to, well, let's do 3 minutes on this slide and then the next 2 minutes on the next slide. And after, so 6:12. So let's do from 6:12 to 6:12. So you guys have from 9 to 6:12 for this slide, and then I will turn over to the next slide. So you just go ahead and answer the question on here.
Yeah, if the slide is little, it's little
Is it small?
small. Yeah, I'm trying to even
Hold on.
zoom it.
So tiny we
Yeah.
can barely see it.
Can you see it?
Mhm.
It's so tiny.
Are you able to see it now?
No.
Okay, let me
Sorry, I
let me
cannot see the slide at all.
no, okay, hold on. What I'm gonna do, let me do a screenshot and then I'll post it in the stuff. Hold on. Wait, is everyone in the LKB group?
I am, I know that.
No? Okay. Okay. All right. So, okay, I can probably just read the question off then.
Okay. Then we'll just
Okay,
put
let
the
me read.
number you said. And we can
So it's
just
letters. So yeah,
letter.
I'll give
Okay.
the
So number
letters.
one, then letter. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So now let me do the letter. Let me just do the questions. All right.
Mhm.
So number 1, when I have a task, A, I add the task to my to-do list. B, I do other things while completing the task. C, I ask my friends if they need any help with that task. And D, I consider what I should be learning from the task. I'm going to, so once you guys done, let me know. Let me see if I can use my other phone and to post the question too. So let me see if that will work. Hold on, let me see. Okay, can you guys hear me? I'm gonna get off this other one.
Yeah, we can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, all right, so I put the questions, so you guys can go ahead and answer.
Okay.
So question number one, just put your letters, and then once you guys are done at the end, you're gonna just count how many A's you got, how many B you got, and how many C or D's you got, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
All right, so I'll just do it until 6. Let's do until 6:17.
Okay. Oh, so when you didn't put in order there, right, in the chat, it's not kind of like one, two, three, just I see number 4. It's about when you are late. Okay. Okay. I see. Okay. Number 1. Okay. Number 1. I can't see that.
This gotta be. Hey, you got 1 minute. Okay. It is 6:17. All right. So go ahead. If someone want to share. So basically, the 5 question among the letters from A to D, what is your highest letter? If it's A, you just come up and say A, and or you can just keep it in the chat. Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and take a note. Let me get a pen. I know who say what, because the next screen have. Okay, or you can put this in the chat, whichever one. It's easy. Okay, who wants to go first? Let me see the chat. All right.
I'll go first.
Okay.
You want to just list what I wrote down on mine from 1 to 5?
No. So from
Oh.
all the 5 questions, which
Mm-hmm.
letter is your highest? Is it A or B or
Oh,
D?
it's A.
Okay, A. So Brother Moses, A.
Mine is A.
Okay. And then Mary is A.
Mine's A except for the last one, number 5.
Okay, so your majority
Oh,
is A.
and then number 5, yeah, number 5 is B except for number 5.
Okay, so Sis Noel is A. All right. Who else? Ceci Elizabeth, you said yours is C. So C, and then Hajjat is B. Oh, A. Okay, Elizabeth is A. Hajjat is yours D.
Number one is A.
No, not number one. So when you answer the 5 question, what is the most letter that you have for from all 5?
A.
All right. You can mute for me. Thank you. Who else? All right. Let me see. I think my chat got stuck, but whatever it is. All right. So let me see. I'm trying to go. You know what? Let me use that. That's it. And then we can move forward. Okay. And then we have Michelle A. Okay. Mm, I'll make sure I see the whole chat. Okay, great. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All 6 of you guys choose A. Okay, so let's see what your time management personality style is. Okay. I'm gonna mute that real quick. All right, so we already did that. All right, so for those who choose A, your time management style is early bird. Okay, so you choose A. So as an early bird, you don't wait to do things. Okay, so if you kind of look at the screen and you see if it doesn't match, you can always retake your quiz. But so early bird, they focus on one task at a time. So you can do multiple things going on at the same time. You have to focus on one thing. An early bird person with that personality, they don't wait for deadline to deliver, they deliver before the deadline. Okay, so that's a early bird. They identify the task and the problem early, and they kind of immediately tackle that problem. So early bird is something they just do it. They get it done immediately. Okay. They prefer a slower pace and are vulnerable to sudden changes. Yes, Mary.
It's so crazy. That's so mean because I pay my rent like 2 weeks advance. I pay my car, like in like 2 months or a few months advance. And I like to make sure everything is done ahead of time so I can rest.
Right? Yes. That's early bird personality. Don't like to wait for deadline, don't like to wait last minute. So the thing with early bird is that when someone throw last minute changes to you, it kind of throw you off. Because you don't have the time to like kind of plan. So it kind of make it hard for you to just start on that project, but you get the work done, but it's just like you don't like sudden changes. You don't like people just giving you a one time without a heads up. Okay, so majority of the people in the chat, you guys put early bird. Let me see. I think I saw the message. Let's see here. All right. So yeah, so majority of you guys please choose the early bird. I'm a mixture of the early bird and also the last one. Okay, so for those who probably didn't get to participate, so we have the multitasker. So this is the people who can, they get a lot of things done. Okay, they may have trouble getting everything done on time, and may experience additional stress only because they are doing multiple things at the same time. So you can find this person working on this project, working on that project, and working on that. They are working on 3 different things at the same time in the day. So they will get it done, but it's just some of it may not be on time, but it will get done. Okay, that's a multitasker. Meeting deadline can be very difficult for a multitasker, so they should keep a time log of how long a task is actually going to take them. So maybe if you say, okay, I'm going to a doctor office, the doctor office should be 1 hour. So you put a time, into a time slot, and you put a schedule there from this time to this time. I should be out of that place and then doing the next thing on the list. So a multitasker is good. You do want them on your team, okay, as well, but also they tend not to meet deadline because they are doing many things at the same time, but they will meet some deadline, but not all of them. Okay. So you also have here, you have the helpers. Okay, so the helpers are dependable and loyal. Okay, so these are individual with this time management personality. They have difficulty saying no to people. They can't say no. Okay, as a helper, someone asks, oh, can you do this? Even if they are running late somewhere, they're gonna stop and do it. That's that personality. So they will go late for that meeting because they were helping somebody change their tire. That's the time management personality style. So people with this type of personality style, you have to really be intentional because your kindness and empathy and all those things, it will come back and fire on you because you pay attention to everyone else and not your own goal. You will work on meeting every other people goal except your goal. Someone say, okay, you give me a cup of water. You are writing something, you're gonna drop it and you're gonna go get it. Can you go to the store? No. Say no. It's okay to say no. So a helper should consider using block scheduling. That is, you have on your schedule a block time. So you just kind of block that whole time out. It's just for you, no distraction, nobody else. You're not completing anybody else's tasks. You are not doing anybody a favor. Your pastor call you, you're not available. I'm not available. Don't call me this time, pastor. And I mean, the Pope can call, I am not available. You're not available. You're not available. So you have to learn to create that blackout time to pay attention to yourself, pay attention to your goals. If not, I mean, there are people right now who they were good at something, but then someone said, you will be good at this thing. Please, can you do it? What they wanted to pursue, they will leave it to please that person. And now you find 5 years later, that person is nowhere to be found. So say no to people. If you have that personality style for time management, say no. It's okay. It's okay to say no. You're not being a bad Christian. Okay, you have the deliberators. These person, I am early bird, and I'm also among this group. For me, I don't like to wait. It's good and sometimes it's bad, but I just don't like. If you tell me say 5 p.m., I'm expecting you to show up 5 p.m. because I'm gonna show up probably about 4:45 or 4:30. So I'm expecting you to show up on time. Okay, so for deliberators, they excel at breaking up larger projects into individual tasks. So they see the bigger picture. They look at that whole project before the project is even over. They already see where this project is heading and how they are going to execute. They already see all those. They are doers. You definitely want people like this on your team. They are doers. They'll tell you, I'm going to do it. They definitely are going to do it. Okay, they enjoy making lists and checking off things that they got done on the list. Some people can check it off mentally. Some people just have that little pen and check it up. Okay. However, focusing on completing a task that they forget to pause and rest. You need to be able to pause and take a break. This is people who just want to get everything done. And most of the time, we see that in the churches today. We see that especially with the pastor. They want to give you everything to the point they cannot pause, take a break. If you take a break, the whole earth is not going to come to a standstill. The church is not going to collapse. The people are not suddenly going to fall apart. Take a break, take a rest. Tell your people, don't call me. Don't call me after 8 p.m. If you have problem, if emergency, call the hospital, call 911. Then after you'll call me, we'll pray for you. No, Lord, anyway, thank God I'm not pastor. But take a break. Take a break. You need to be able to take a break, refresh, and come back to that goal and complete your goal. It's very important. Okay. You can see the big picture, and that's me. I don't know how to quit until I'm like, okay, close everything down. I gotta take a walk. At work, I'm stuck at my desk. That literally my friend will have to tell me, Sandrine, go take a break, go take a lunch. Because I'm like, I need to get this done. I need to finish it. I mean, I already see how it's going, how the end of it going to look like. So I want to get it done. But no, have to learn to step back, go take a 5 minute break, take on a 30-minute break. Just go walk around. So it's very important as Christians, we have to understand our time management personality and be able to use it to our advantage. For the early birds, what works for me, I function early in the morning. So if you do things early in the mornings, I'll be there, I'll be awake. But then probably around like 5 p.m. or so, you're gonna lose me. And I'm focusing on something totally different. So if I want to do something, I want to work on something, I like to do it early in the morning because that's when you get your energy. So if you have goals when everyone is sleeping, early in the morning is, well, whenever your brain is very active, that's when you want to execute your plans. All right. So that was that little quiz for the time management personality. So now what questions on your mind? Okay. Questions that you guys have.
I have a question.
Yes.
So people complain that for me, I think above, like in the future too much. I should like slow down and like be in the present. Should I slow down or just keep doing what I'm doing? Because I like to just get things out of the way. Like I say, I pay my rent 2 weeks advance. If I have the money, I'm paying for it. I don't want to wait.
Okay. Well, planning ahead is not a bad thing, right? It is not definitely not a bad thing. And I hate paying my bills late as well. So it all depends how you are planning for the future. That's what matters. So if it's something, let's say if you are planning to save up money and you're like, okay, in the future, I want to get a house. And so you are stacking up your money and someone is telling you, well, don't do that. I mean, it's not here. The future is not here yet. No, you gotta save your money. You're planning for the future. So if you want that house, you have to start putting money aside. If it's $100, we put $100 aside. So that's how we plan for the future to get a house. So if you are planning for the future, if it's not impacting you negatively now, there is nothing wrong with you planning. But if you are doing something now for the future that is I won't say causing depression or that is stressing you out or that is taking more away from you than giving you more, then we want to chill a little bit. The future is, because we don't want to plan for something that we don't even know. So we want to relax a little bit. Don't put too much into it, but just plan for it. But don't plan for the future and you abandon the now. I think maybe that's what the person is trying to say. Don't plan so much for the future that you start living the future and you're not living in the moment of now. So that's very important. So as you're planning for the future, also live in reality where you are.
Man, that's good.
All right. Any question?
Another question.
Mhm.
So how should we plan? Should we like get like a notebook and like start writing things down? Because for me, I use my calendar to like write things down, take a picture of it and keep it in my phone. But some people they use like their iPhone note to like write their things down. So what should we use or what should I use?
whatever that works for you. If writing the list down, to-do list, like you have like your calendar, you have to-do list, you can use to-do list on your calendar. If just having, some people like old school, they like to write it down on paper and have it around. If that works, that works. Now we have series. Series, you put your schedule, tell Siri to schedule it for you, remind you. Siri will remind you. So whatever that works for you, if you know exactly what you are trying to aim and how you're gonna go about it, if it's writing it down or using your calendar to-do list, some people have like planner. If you have a planner, you want to use that, hey, perfectly. If it works for you, it works for you. So as long as it works for you, that's all that matters. All right, Amy, question.
So when you set goals, right? Um,
Mhm.
and sometimes when you're done, maybe you don't feel that you have achieved the goal. What should a person do? If you set a
Okay, so
goal, you feel like I didn't achieve this goal, what should you do?
okay. I like to reevaluate. I like questions. I like asking questions. Okay, so you don't have to go ask anybody a question, but you can ask yourself a question. Um, what was this goal?
Mhm.
And when was the deadline for this goal? Then we want to ask, why did I not achieve this goal? Because it's very important that we understand the why. Because if you're going to repeat that goal, we don't want to make the
Mhm.
same mistake. So
Mhm.
if I didn't achieve the goal that I planned, then I want to
Mhm.
sit back down and ask myself question. What was this goal? The purpose of the goal? What was the deadline? What
Mhm.
happened that I did not achieve this goal? Once I understand what happened, then do
Mhm.
I want to achieve this goal again? If I do, then we have to do it all over.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. All right. Any question?
If it's advisable to maybe work with somebody as an accountability partner to help you with your goals, if you know somebody that can push you and without you being like mad, you want accountability, right? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about, right? You know, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, who does that to me? Someone does that to me. At work, my friends, yeah, yeah, it's good. Um, for me is what I'm trying to achieve. If it's something that is very personal, we have to know who we want that to be accountability partner. Because I only want something that is very personal to me that I just
Mhm.
give it into the hands of someone to be accountable for it. So it all depends. But at work,
Mhm.
my friends, we have to take lunch and break. So one of my coworkers, she's like that person who would tell us, stop everything you're doing and take a break. And I'm like, I'm coming. I need to finish this stuff I'm doing. She's like, no, drop it now. Go take a break. So she
Mhm.
does that all the time for me. If not, I'm just gonna sit behind that computer working and answering CSR question and don't take a break and take a lunch and I'll just sit there. So it's good to have people like that, especially someone that they will tell you the truth. You're not offended by the truth. Because
Okay.
some of us now you be like, be my accountability partner, and then the person will call you like, when should I call you? Like 6 a.m. The person call you at 6 a.m. Why are you calling me? Like, and you get upset at the person. So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
so make sure the person you are choosing, they are down to earth. They are not going to sympathize with you. Sorry,
Mhm.
but they are just going to tell you straight up, hey, get your
Mhm.
behind up and go ahead and do what you're going to do.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
good.
All right. Any other question or comment?
I mean, for me, the one thing I love about myself is that I don't let nobody waste my time. Because if you having an event, a birthday party or anything, you have to let me know like 1 month advance. Because like I said, I plan in the future. I want to know what we're gonna do in the future. But I had this one friend, we got in an argument. She said why I didn't go to a birthday party. It's because she threw the party without letting me know. So I couldn't go because I had to go to work. And she was like, call off work. I said no, because I need the money.
Mm-mm.
So am I wrong?
No, I mean, you need the money, you need the money. The party is not going to put food on the table. But here is the thing. So like you said, the timeliness of it. So if this person tell you, now technically they don't have to give you a whole month. Okay, it would be nice if they can give you a whole month so you can plan. But the reality is that some people might just give you a week, some people might just give you 2 weeks. Now it's up to you, depending on your value system. Is this friend someone you value? Your presence being to their party. Is it something they appreciate? If that's your friend, they gave you 2 weeks notice and you want to attend, of course, you can cut off work ahead of time. So you have 2 weeks to cut off work. You're going to put in your PTO time, but I definitely won't pay without leave, or else if you're going to reimburse me for the money. But want to use our PTO or SPO to be able to attend that person party, and then while we still get paid. But if it's something where it's just out of the blue, like, okay, come to my birthday party, cut off work, who's going to pay for your bills? No, I'm sorry. I'm not going to attend it. So it's okay to tell them, no, you will not attend. There's nothing wrong with it.
I have a comment.
Yes.
Based on my after you did the evaluation, you said based on my personality, I'm an early bird. And
Mm-hmm.
even when I was in school, like if I had a project to do or if I had an assignment to do, I was always, way ahead of time. I just want to do it and get it over with. Because I feel like the more it's hovering, it's causing me more stress. So I just feel like if I just do it and get it over with, then I can move on to the next thing or just have my peace of mind. But then here's another thing too. So when it comes to my job too, I have to be able to there has to be like a balance because you with 6 patients, you can't go, you'll be running like a chicken with a head cut off literally around the unit 24/7. So I'm not just gonna go to every patient who's calling me and who want me immediately. So I have to prioritize in nursing school ABC, right? Airway, breathing, and circulation. If your oxygen level is 90, if you're not having problems, struggling,
You
breathing,
good.
you're fine. I'm not
You
going
good.
running to you. Like literally, if you're not having any circulation problem, I don't see your fingers are getting purple and all of that cyanotic, I am not running to you. Like if
No.
you need PMEDs, you can wait. So there's a place where, I feel like I have to balance it because there's a place where I want to get it done and get it over with. But yet at the same time, too, when it comes to the patient, I'm not just going to be running around because all the patient wants me at the same time. I'm going to be able to prioritize what is it that you need, what's important. If you're not having problem breathing, I'm not seeing you. You're going to have to wait. It's not an emergency. I
Yep.
just wanted to add
Yep.
that.
That's very, very important, prioritizing
Mhm.
what is
Mhm.
important to us. If not,
Amen.
you can imagine, because everything cannot be important. That's one thing. Everything cannot be, if everything is important to you, then you have an issue. You have a
Exactly.
serious issue. Yeah, then we need to take you to the hospital too. Because
I have to
everything
wait.
can be important. They need to rebrain your brain.
Yep.
Amen.
Yes, because you have to know what is important. Because doing so too, like that's me at work, because I want to get things done. And I don't like to get stressed. That's me. Once I get stressed, everything starts to piss me off. Like anything you say the slightest thing, you piss me off, or I'm already paced, don't say nothing, and I don't want to talk. That's just me. Don't talk. So my manager do something, she pissed me. I'm just like, that's your business. I'm just minding my own business. So we don't want to be there. So we want to prioritize. You have list. That was what is important for you to know. Okay, what is important? Is it taking my child to the doctor appointment that is important now, or is it me going to the store to buy milk? You see? So we have to see what is important. Is it the milk or the child appointment? Because if you miss the child appointment, you have to probably wait another month to
Mm-hmm.
book that appointment, right? But
Right,
the
right.
milk, if I go to the appointment, I can always come and go to the store. There will always be milk. And if milk is not in that particular store, I can always go to a different store. I will still
Mm-hmm.
get the milk. So you see, setting the priorities straight. That's very, very important.
Man. I have a couple of questions.
Yes.
What does rich people, poor people, middle class people, what do they have in common?
Okay. So the rich, the poor, middle, upper, whatever class you want to call it, we all have time in common. Time is given to everybody. Time is given to each and every one of
Right.
us. It's not even so much about the education or this
Mm-hmm.
person is too, because I be hearing people like, oh, it's because they're white. No,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's
Yeah,
because they make
true.
time. When you were sleeping,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
like when we were sleeping, this boy was doing Facebook. He was working on Facebook while we were sleeping. You know, the Bible said,
Mm-hmm.
while we were asleep, the enemy is so sick. But Lord, thank God for the boy. He's so good sick. So why some people be sleeping? Some people be up
Mm-hmm.
strategizing. Can they be
Mm-hmm.
planning? They be breaking their heads, and some people will be snoring until they will change gear, everything. By the time they wake up,
Mm-hmm.
they don't even have no clue of what they want, what their life is heading. We all have time. If you
Yeah.
ask any rich person, they will tell you the same thing. Look, the same time
Mm-hmm.
you have is the same time I have. What matters is
Right.
that what I did with my time versus
Right.
what you did with yours. So time. You can learn
Right.
something. You know, braiding, there are people who don't know how to braid hair, but if they put the time to learn,
Mm-hmm.
that person can
Mm-hmm.
become a master of it. It's just the time.
Yes. Yes.
It's just the time.
Yes.
You can learn it.
Amen.
Yeah.
You're so, my God, Sis Sandra, you hit the nail on the head. Everything you said, I mean, it makes a lot of sense, and I can really say, especially me, like days that I don't work, I'm gonna sleep late. And my husband will
Mm.
be like, "You're sleeping late. You don't get till 11 o'clock. People on the stock market have already make millions. You're just getting up." But I just wanted to add that. But I mean, if I
Yep.
have to get up to go to work, I get up early. I get up 5. But if I'm off, I'm gonna sleep. I'm gonna sleep in late.
Yep. And the rich people are like, no, I don't get to sleep until I
Right.
make that money. Once I make that money, then I can sleep. The money work for me while I'm sleeping. That's
Right.
just that
Right.
mentality. Like now I want
Right.
sleep, but once I get that money, I will sleep while the money start to generate. While I'm like poor
Mm-hmm.
people, they always will blame people for their failure. Look,
Mm-hmm.
it's not your mom, it's not your dad. They contributed to it, but they are not the one. You can change it. We can always change it. Just because your granddaddy was broke, your father was broke. When we check your great grandfather, he was probably double broke. Does it mean you have to
Mm-hmm.
be broke? Like you can change it. You can change it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Amen. Yeah, and as you are saying, I'm so grateful for this time that you have taken to share with us about time management because we all need help on that. Many of you guys know that from time to time I'm always going places, Colorado, Denver, back and forth. And with the airlines, they run on schedule, right?
Mm,
And it's like they run on schedule. They tell us you have to be there 2 hours,
mm-hmm.
before, or you have to make sure you check your bag. And if you haven't checked bags at the gate, you got to check it in at this time. And they have a window. If you break that window, if you don't check it within that time, your bag is not going.
Mm,
So, and you see them, and it's like, so they are doing well with that. They have a system with time, but
mm-hmm.
then then we get mad when we get there late. It's like that was not their fault. So we have to really, respect people's time so they can respect our time, like the woman of God is saying to us. Yeah, Okay, my last question. Um,
Mhm.
what I know you're gonna say this, Rishi, is good. I already know the answer already, but just for other people's sake, 'cause some people are just listening and they don't maybe want to say nothing, but we'll answer your question for you. Um, and we'll ask a question for you as well. What should you do, with a person, like say your husband, your wife, your kids? You gotta have a set time to go and they are getting late. What should you do?
Well, my kids know not to be late because I tell them by the time I get to the car and you are not in the car, I'm leaving.
Mhm.
I'm leaving. There are many times I put the car in reverse and my kids came running out. I'm like, God bless you. Because if I move, they will have left in the house. You gotta tell them,
Mhm.
son, are you sure to tell my kids be up at this time?
Mhm.
Especially if I wake them up. If I wake you up, I say get ready because we
Mhm.
are leaving at this time. So I always like to give the time frame so it doesn't look like, I'm trying to be bad. So I tell you the
Mhm.
time frame we're leaving the house. And if that time reach, you are not out, I'm leaving you behind. So I
Mhm.
think the same thing goes whether with the spouse, you communicate the time. Hey,
Mhm.
in the morning, probably like 10 a.m., we have to be to this place. So we need to leave the house by 9:30. Sharp a.m.
Mhm.
We have to be in the
Mhm.
car and leave. If you are not done, I'll leave. Like tell them what's gonna happen. Don't just,
Mhm.
tell them
Mhm.
9 a.m. We got 9:30, we got no, I tell you
Mhm.
the consequences of it. If you don't
Mhm.
come by 9:30, you're not in the car, I'm leaving. So if I
Mhm.
leave, don't get upset. Because I mean, I
Mhm.
like to tell, I like to tell you ahead of time. So if you're getting upset, you're getting upset for no reason because
Mhm.
I already told
Mhm.
you.
Amen. And who
Yeah.
who came up with this time, African time?
I'm trying to figure, when I was in high school
And what is
in
African
Virginia,
time too? What is
I
African time? I know, right?
I don't know where people got that from. When I was in
Mhm.
Virginia, um people used to, I mean, I would always be the first person at the bus stop. I'll be waiting for the bus stop like for 20 minutes. I'm at the bus stop. My mom was like, why? I'm like, I'll be everyone else in the house. I'll leave them. I just go stand at the bus stop and I go and they're like, oh, African time. I'm like, no, there's no African time. Why it's the same. White people time is the same as African time.
Mhm.
Time is time. Time does not have color attached to it. And I don't know where people, it's the African mentality of lateness and backwardness
Mhm.
combined together. They just came up with the word African time. That's it. Lateness and
Mhm.
backwardness combined together is African time. Yes. Yeah.
When they have the events, they will start at like 12 o'clock in the morning.
Don't even tell me about African events. I'm telling now I have learned not to attend any African meeting at the exact time because they be wasting my time. I'm telling even the church, they need to stop playing too much. People play too much. Bro, if you say 9 a.m. your service, I expect your service to
Mhm.
matter of fact, start before I even get there. That's how serious I know you are. Start your service before I show up. You said start 9 o'clock. I'll be driving in. I know you are serious. But even the pastor then should be driving into their parking lot 30 minutes after the service time. What is this? Like, no. No, you got to be able, because one thing that tells me is that I'll have to look at your life and see a lot of opportunity that you have missed because of your mismanagement of time. You have to,
Mhm.
it doesn't matter if you are the Pope. If you say you want to, okay, so let's say, for example, who president I will use that we like? Okay. Okay, let's say for President Trump that will come because we know. Let's say that Donald Trump gave you an invitation to the White House and he said, come at 10 a.m. Be at the White House. Okay, if you go show up at 12 noon and the security do not allow you to come in, who you gonna blame?
Yourself.
You're gonna blame yourself. The letter said 10 a.m. show up to the White House because not only was that letter communicated to you, that letter was also communicated to the security to make them aware that somebody is going to show up at 10 a.m. Or maybe that person will show up a little bit early, but not after. So if you show up late and they don't allow you, why you being upset? And I think this is something like most of us African, we have to come out of this mentality. Especially I see like African in workplaces, like, oh, they didn't give me that promotion. Why are you getting upset? Don't get upset. Work on yourself. Ask people questions. I've learned to make friends with everyone in my department
Mm-hmm.
at my job. Like to the head. I've learned to make friends with them because I know one day I will need their help. Learn to make
Mm-hmm.
friends with the boss. Even if you see them smile this morning, how
Mm-hmm.
you do? Let your boss see you coming in early. Let them see you doing
Mm-hmm.
extra work. Let them see
Right.
you taking the extra time. Oh my God, you still
Mm-hmm.
here this late? Yes. Because when it's time for promotion, these are the things that they look for. And like, you know what? This person is always coming to work on time. They always helping.
Mm-hmm.
They're always doing extra stuff. Let give them the position. So it's not so much about the skill, but it's
Mm-hmm.
about the timeliness of this individual that open the door for them to come.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something we have to work on. If you want promotion
Amen.
at your job, yeah, there are some wicked people, but in the midst of that wickedness, we can still bypass them because
Amen.
of our work ethic of being on time, doing things timely. And then God opened that doors for you too to come in.
Amen. Today we had a set time to be on this line, on this Zoom to do what we are doing, right? And I was at work doing some renovation for a bathroom for this client. And we have already worked late yesterday on this project. And so today I told my partner, my guy I work with, I'm like, I need to be on. I told him actually around 10 o'clock this morning, whenever I pick him, I said, I need to be at home to do this prayer line thing that I do. And I said that time I had that in my mind. I had to go. I didn't want to be late. I didn't want to miss this. And I did. So I said this to say that we have to be intentional in all that we are doing. God sees us.
Mhm.
Don't say, well, I need to work. I need to God, yeah, God doesn't need to work, but what time are you making for God, right? You want
Yep.
God to make time for you. What time are we making for Him? So these are things that because the work is going to always be there. We can go back tomorrow and finish. But if I miss today, I'm not going to, I want it live. I don't want to come back and re-listen to this thing. I want to be able to
Yeah.
share like I'm doing right now. Some people, oh yeah, I will miss it. I would just, if you have to miss it, yes. But if you can make the time to be on, and God will reward you for that. Not Sandrine, not Josephine, not nobody, but God, and
Mm.
we just need to do better. We need to encourage, one another and say, and just let's just do better, man. We're not gonna be 100%. White people, black people, whatever
Yep.
color
Doesn't
people.
matter.
We're not trying to get 100% doing time management, So we just gotta do the best, 80, 90. If you've been 50, start increasing your percentage so you can be better, So anyway, I'm done, sis and Dwayne. God bless
Yeah. Amen.
Yeah, I would just
Man.
like to make a
Yes.
comment about the time. I think the time is important. It's the best way to keep a job and keep yourself off the radar.
Mm-hmm.
you.
That's
Amen.
right. That's right. Very,
If you're
very
always late, they'll
important.
probably think like something happened because the person was supposed to be here, you weren't here,
Mm-hmm.
so therefore this kid's had a fight or blah blah blah. This patient fell, whatever. So and also if you're making time with like a friend, make the time that you can make. you know, if you say 12 o'clock, try to be there at 12. God forbid you late, 12:05, 12:15, whatever. If you say 12 o'clock and you show up 1:30, I'm gonna think you don't respect my time. And guess what? I might not link with you next 30 minutes. I did the drive to hang out. It's gone. I'm already killed time trying to do something. I already spent the time I'm supposed to hanging out with you, hanging out by myself in the city, bored like a loner. you know,
Mm.
Mentally I thought it was gonna be a party for two, but now so yeah, let's try to respect ourselves and everybody. Let's employment, friendship, and try to. And you also inspire other people. It's like you want to be known as, oh, she's
Mhm.
always early. No, I don't think she's coming
Mhm.
today. She would have been here by now. That's much better than, oh yeah, he's always late. Well, she's always late. So let's try it. It gives respect and help people talk to us with respect.
Man, communications. Listen, G, I always say you like money. I do too. I like to make money, right? But the
Mhm.
other day, well, maybe a month ago, yeah, whatever it was, a few weeks ago, I was supposed to go to do a job and I was late, like real late. And I didn't even communicate with this client, right? And he
Eh?
was angry. Yeah, for real. He texted me like, he says, you know what? Let's just pass on this. I was like, oh no, no, I'm on my way. I was about to lose $300, y'all. And for real, he was like, never mind, mother. We'll have to. Let's do it now. So it's like just that we gotta respect each other time because this guy had other things to do. You know what I mean? And like, if we're gonna
Mhm.
be a little bit late, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, yes, it's.
Yeah.
But not an hour late plus, man. That's ridiculous, man. Anyway. Like I said, yeah,
Oh
this stuff
man,
is serious. Yeah,
I'm
this thing
telling
what we are
you.
doing is very serious, y'all.
Also,
My God. Yeah.
also, let's say
Yeah.
you happen to be late. Like, long as you're not consistent, like things happen
Mhm.
one day, whatever, you forgot to set the alarm or, whatever the case. If the person
Yeah.
sees that you're consistent, that's a problem.
Mhm.
Consistent also.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very important. It's building rapport, building that track
Mhm.
record. The day that you show
Mm-hmm.
up late, it's like something happened. Something must have happened. I'm
Right.
sure
Exactly.
something happened. It,
Right.
it can't be. Yeah,
Mhm.
that person
Mhm.
will be able to batch for you. But if you are always
Mhm.
late, come on. You are always
Right.
late, come on. Yeah,
Right.
so will say, no, that's that
Mhm.
behavior. Like the African here in Arizona, they having programs say, no, the people they don't start on time. So people in Arizona know not to go to the event at the time on the paper, but 2 hours late.
Hmm.
Yes.
Hmm.
They know to go to it because why there is a track record of lateness. I'm telling you, it's lateness and backwardness that came up with this liberal African time. That's it.
Hmm.
Lateness plus backwardness equal African time. That thing needs to go. And that's the reason why we have some brilliant, freaking, very smart, and yet there is nothing because why they are not managing their time well. The thing they're supposed to pay
Hmm.
attention to, they were going to play game. They're playing video game. They're going to the club when they're supposed to be developing their skill and their ability.
Hmm.
So yeah. But yep, sis Jojo, I'm not sure if you still on, my sister. Let's see. All right, so it's about 7. Do anyone else have any other question before I turn it over to Brother Moses?
I have a question. So
Yes.
if somebody is thinking of buying a car or a house, what advice would you give the person but they only have money for either or at the at a time?
Well, when I was trying to buy my house back in I tried like 3 times, I failed. 2018, I didn't have the money. I had money, but I didn't have all of it. But when I knew 2017 that I wanted to buy a house, what I did, because at that time the job I was doing, bruh, it wasn't paying much. I was struggling. I ain't gonna lie. But what I did was I saved my tax return for I think like still for like 2018, 2019, 2020. So like 2018, 2019, 2020. So I saved my tax return. I every time I got my taxes, I save a percentage. So most of it I was doing like 5,000. I would say 5,000. I would say 5,000. So for those 3 years, I say 5,000 plus my other money that I had. So for me, my method of saving was really my tax return. So I kind of look at, okay, when I want a house, and then I started saving towards that. I couldn't save out of my paycheck because, like I said, the struggle was real. Okay. But I figure instead of using my tax return money on something, I'll save it. So I saved my returns for like 3 years, plus the money I already had in my account. So when it came for me to get my 32 grand cash, I was able to get it out of the account. and pay that money. So you can find strategy that works. So if you know you want to get a house, be realistic. Okay. Do you want a house in 5 years' time? So if it's in 5 years' time, we got enough time to plan. You have maybe 4 years, we still have enough time to plan. We can start saving our tax return. We can start doing escrow. I was selling things. Oh, that's how I started selling my Kuwaits. Trust me, it make a difference. So I started selling ginger, sour milk, Kuwait. And then I went to tax school. So I went to school to do taxes. So then I started doing people taxes. So that money I save it up as well. So start finding side hustle as well, and to help you to save.
Man, it's good.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yep.
Thank you, Sister Sandrine.
You're welcome. All right. Well, Brother Moses, I'm gonna turn it over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Sis Sandrine. Sorry, I'm not participating today as I should, but I really enjoyed it because I'm listening, and I'll definitely go back and do the test. This is very relevant information, honestly, for all of us, you know, that we can take, not just hearing it today, but how do we implement that, you know, into our lives? What do we take from here that will make a difference in how we go forward with managing our time, you know? So I'm truly grateful for this conversation, because not just to see it, but my prayer is that we take actions, you know, we take action with what we have heard, how valuable it is, and applying that to our lives. So thank you. I was blessed. Brother Moses.
Amen. Well, thanks to everyone for listening today. Thank you, Sis Sandrine. God bless you so much for all the things that you have just, put upon us to think about and just to put them into practice, So it was wonderful. I hope we all enjoy this time with Sis Sandrine. And lastly, I would say, may God help, but I would not go to our funeral late, our weddings late, because man, if we don't do these things, we will, you will find everybody waiting for you at the funeral, and the body is late. Like, what happened? Because that was her. She was always late. So yep, just follow her to her grave, and she coming. So amen. So it's been blessed. As far as announcements goes, we will be. Sorry, guys, I got my animals here making noise. We will be back, next week, starting Monday for our regular time of prayer, Monday through Friday to Thursday. Our Q&A will be coming up on Tuesday as well. So let us come, invite people, tell people about the ministry, what we are doing, and then we have a new month that is ahead of us. In the month of September coming up, August, September, I will be online with some other things next, but we'll have it in the group chat for us to be prepared for what we're going to be discussing for next month. And I think since Josephine have a mentorship thing that will be taking place sometime, I think in the month of September as well. So let us stay tuned to the LKB WhatsApp for all the information details that we will be posting for the month that is ahead of us, or anything that we may pertain to the ministry that need to be addressed. Amen. So if you have any questions, how to reach us is Josephine, myself, Sis Sandrine, all the leaders, So that is it. Do we have any new person online tonight? Don't think so. Do we have any at the end?
Yeah,
Hello?
can I add something, Brother Moses? Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, for the announcements, really quick. Like Brother Moses says, in September, I'll be running a mentorship program, Growing in Christ. So that's for 4 weeks. We will decide, everyone that's interested, there's a form to fill out on the LKB website. And then when we all come together, we'll determine what day will work best. It will be like once a week, but for 4 weeks. So it's a 4 weeks mentorship program. And then the last Saturday in August, we're going to host a LKB membership class. And that's an opportunity for us to just, tell you more about LKB and some things that, you have been a part for a while. You're new and we want to dive into that. What the expectation, what you expect from LKB, what LKB expects from you as a member. We'll be talking about those things. So it will also be a fun time. All right. Thank you, Brother Moses.
Amen. Have your popcorn, your sour milk, your Kool-Aid, and all that ready. It will be fun.
Yeah. There you go.
Amen. Amen. What else? Yeah.
I have a question, please.
Yes.
Can you drop the website for the LKB? Because I don't know the websites, so I could sign up. I'm interested.
For the mentorship or for the this membership sign up?
The ones that Justin was talking about, mentorship, is it mentorship?
Oh, yeah, mentorship program for the 4 weeks. Okay. Yeah, she will send that. It will be in the link. With the just follow us. Just follow that on the LKB WhatsApp. You'll be able to see that on there.
Okay, thank you.
I think she already did already. You can go through it if you have it. It was already posted before, so it should be on there. Just maybe scroll through your messages, or unless you delete your message every time. But for me, I don't delete. I'd see it like from years, months. It's just there. Anyway, so yeah, it'll be on there. Yeah. So that is it. We also want to say thank you today for Sis Mary for leading us in prayer. It's so wonderful to have her as she is learning, continue to grow in the Lord. Let's continue to pray for her as well. Good job today, sis. God bless you so much.
Amen.
And
Amen.
yeah. And lastly, she wanted you to give your testimony and prayer request. So it's the time for us to do that.
Yes,
Amen.
fire by force.
Yes, yes. She was like, "You'll do it now, twice, 3 years." Okay, so now we better give it to that.
Moving the teacher.
Where Tigger?
What Tigger?
Yes,
She's there.
announcement. Oh, you know what? She probably.
Tigger, yo.
Hi. Sorry, I'm at work.
Oh, she's at work.
Yeah. Yeah, you do work?
Yeah.
She's at work, oh.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm in the bathroom. Guys, we shouldn't forget the oh my gosh, I'm so terrible at this. Josephine housewarming stuff. The link has been posted in the group chat. So